wonderful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards in Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
When you bring your vehicle to Panama City Toyota for repairs or maintenance, you'll get the warmest welcome around.
That's because we see service differently.
It's not only an expert team that can help with everything, from simple adjustments to a new set of tires. It's also a team that values your time, so we make your experience as quick and comfortable as possible. Because we're committed to service that goes beyond. Only at Panama City Toyota.
It's weed, not alcohol. It just relaxes me. I'm a better driver when I'm high. I do it all the time, no problem.
THC reduces your reaction time by half a second, impacting your attention, coordination, and lane tracking. A delay of just half a second can be the difference between life and death. Stay alert, stay alive. Don't drive high.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Transportation, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Get ready.
Deep center field and heading for the horizon.
Sports Talk Radio will never be the same.
Onion pickles, onions, pickles.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Way back and gone.
On ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
Keep making noise. Keep making noise. Yeah.
What's going on, Northwest Florida? You are now riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes along with Adam Goff, also known as Fano, or as I like to call him, AG. We're going to stay away from the rain cloud this afternoon. You've been very positive to this point, at least in conversations with myself. Also, James 5. James, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm in a great Wednesday. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man. AG, how's your day been so far?
Not bad. Really kind of quiet, other than the road construction going on in my neighborhood. They're tearing up all the roadways and putting in new sewer lines and all that stuff over there in St. Andrews, and they've made it to basically our front door. And so it's,
That is that's a great time right there.
So I don't know if I'm going home and if I'm going to be able to even park in my driveway or not.
Ooh, where would you park then?
Just down the street.
Oakland Terrace?
No.
Too far of a walk?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep it there.
Okay, all right. Oh, goodness gracious. 850-215-6290 is the number to call. That is the Jed Lawyers phone line, and we are live from the CBC Construction Studios. Give us a holler, though, on that Jed Lawyers phone line. The Atlanta Braves last night were in a 4-4 stalemate with the St. Louis Cardinals, which I'm sure that you were rooting for the Braves in that game, being that the Cardinals are in the Reds division there in the NL Central. Mm-hmm. And I was watching hockey and basketball at the time, so I was keeping up with the game on the on one of the apps, and then next thing you know, I check again, it's 10-4. I'm what in the world, bullpen? One day you're lights out, and the next day it's absolutely terrible. Well, to be quite frank with you, I guess in game one of this series, it wasn't the greatest either because they go in with a 7-3 lead into the ninth inning.
7-6?
It ended up being 7-6, yeah. Then last night, 10-4. But then today, they're down 1-0 till I think seventh inning they tied it up, sixth or seventh inning. Yeah. They tied it up 1-1. And then Eli White, who's basically a pinch runner for the most part, steps up in the 8th inning, hits a 3-run shot, and you were also impressed with Bryce Elder's performance on the mound.
Imagine the money that Vegas won today on over-under bets on runs scored in that game when you had Mikolas going against Elder.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it's a 1-1 game until the 7th inning, and then or 8th inning, I think, when Eli White hit the home run. It was, but a huge boost for the Braves getting Elder to throw that way, right? I mean, everybody's been on the Braves about, why did you send down A.J. Smith-Shawver and you kept Bryce Elder? We don't have any other better options. We go and get this guy that's been DFA'd twice from the Orioles, and now we're starting Elder again in the rubber match, if you will. So, good for him to come out and throw that way. He played really, really well. Got some much needed ground ball double plays as well to really kind of help him out. But yeah, Braves needed that win, needed that series win, particularly with the way that the Mets are playing right now.
They are on fire, sweeping the Phillies, and that kind of finished up this afternoon. That was tough. It's tough to see the Mets doing good, but I would rather the Mets be doing good now and watch them Met it up at the end of the season. We'll see if that's a possibility. The Phillies, I think, are in, they're fine right now. It's still early in the season. Can't really panic too much. I guess, really, the Braves are only down, 2 games to the Phillies? I think the Phillies are 12-10. Braves are 10-14 there. Elder, as you mentioned, though, 6 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run, walked 3, only struck out 2, but he's not that much of a
he's a contact guy.
Yeah. So not really a great performance there. They are going to be bringing up, maybe bringing up to the major league level for the second time this year, Jesse Chavez. Nacho Alvarez, who's been dealing with left wrist inflammation, has moved from the 10-day IL to the 60-day IL. So. And they had Nathan Wiley, who was drafted by the Rays. I don't know how long he was even on the big league club for, but they sent him down after last night's game. And how about Scott Blewett last night? I mean, he pitched well, and really it was a bummer when Bummer came in and blew it.
Yeah.
Dylan Lee really blew it.
I texted you during the show yesterday, when you and Tyler, and Blewett was one of those guys that, when he went to waivers, I knew he wasn't going to be on there long, and I looked at the Braves as a, potential suitor there because I think the dude going into that start last night had a 1.98 ERA. He had pitched really, really well. It was kind of a shocking move, like I texted you, that the Orioles, who desperately need pitching, would DFA somebody like that.
Right.
But, now, do I think Blewett is going to be a big part of the rotation moving forward? Probably not, but he's one of those pieces that, you go into you're in a game and it's a blowout one way or the other. Mm-hmm. He's going to go in there and eat some innings for you. So,
yeah, we'll see how it continues to progress, though. How about your Cincinnati Reds?
Finally getting back in the win column today. Much needed. Brady Singer, who we acquired for Jonathan India, pitched really, really well. Austin Wins, travelman, journeyman, catcher. He had 6 hits the other day against Baltimore. He had
24-2 romping.
Yeah, he had 3 more hits today, including a double and a home run. Coming up big, so which is a weird issue for the Reds moving forward because they just signed Trevino, who they traded Fernando Cruz for from the Yankees. They extended him by, I think, 3 years before the season started. And then they have Austin Wins. Tyler Stevenson is down in Louisville at AAA right now, playing, rehabbing.
Yeah.
I'm of the ilk that you just run with 3 catchers. You run with the hot hands.
Yeah.
Right? And Trevino's hitting 300 right now. Wins is hitting over 300 right now. Stevenson is your guy, so you need a DH in there. Throw one of the 3 in there, and the other one's catching, and keep moving.
All right. Well, Tigers blanked the Padres. Padres, one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in baseball, even though the Mets do have the best record at 18-7, and they are hot over there at Citi Field right now, 12-1. But the Padres, 17-8 after falling to the Tigers 6-0 today. Yankees, back in the win column for them. They beat the Guardians. Guardians having a great season as well right now. Both teams at about 14-15-10. Yankees win today, 5-1.
Well, imagine how good the Guardians would be if Emmanuel Clase actually knew how to pitch again.
Yeah.
That dude
You think he's got the yips?
I don't know what's going on. I was talking with a buddy about it today. In fact, it was like, they're almost like kickers, closers, where they start getting that, they start seeing it, go wide left or wide right. And, closers kind of have that same mentality. Like they're either locked in or they're just completely gone. And, right now, I think Clase is really, really doing his team a big disservice. So.
Well, Wright State Chris texting in here. He says he spent 6 hours in the hospital yesterday with blood clots on the right side of his lungs. Men out there, take your health seriously. Wright State Chris, I don't want you to call in and talk about this, but text me on my personal cell phone. I know you got it. So, what were the symptoms of finding out that you had a blood clot? Have you ever had a blood clot before?
I have not, no.
No, neither have I.
Scary.
I know the boss man had. That's exactly what I was thinking, because Wright State Chris, great friend of the shows as well, great friend of mine as
he's
well.
My age or younger, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in between the two of us.
Yeah.
I would say. If not, he might be right there at your same age. Text or call us on the Jed Lawyers phone line, 850-215-6290. Our call-in question of the day. If your team had to draft a fictional character, who's your first-round pick? Now, I would say that you're the biggest movie buff out of the three of us. Me and James, not particularly high on movies and whatnot. Or actually, I would just say for me, I like movies. I do. My recollection is just absolute garbage. So for you, AG, lead us off as we're waiting for...
So this is your NFL team is going to draft
NFL team, a fictional character.
A fictional
mine would
sports
be,
character?
Yeah. I guess we could all pick Superman and just put him on our team, or Thanos or something like that. For the Titans, we're going to be drafting Cam Ward anyways. Well, no, it's our first round pick, so I guess I would have to go quarterback. Wasn't Shane Falco the quarterback in the replacements?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's
Keanu Reeves. Yeah,
then that's who I'd go with.
Shane Falco's not a bad one.
Or who was the quarter? Was Jamie Foxx the quarterback or the running back? And
he was Willie Beeman. He was the quarterback.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm going Willie Beeman.
You're going Willie Beeman?
Give me Willie Beeman.
Okay. I think that probably is the one that I would look at as well. Would be Willie Beeman, but same movie, right? They had a linebacker that was actually played, I think, by Lawrence Taylor. So I'm going to take that guy.
All right.
We need a linebacker.
That's any given Sunday, right?
Any given Sunday.
See, I'm not that bad off. James, who would you have? Do you have any other NFL teams, or are you strictly Titans?
I'm a Titans guy. I watch football in general because who doesn't? It's the American pastime.
Well, just in every other sport, you kind of have a few different teams.
Yeah, and football's basically Titans or kind of bust. I'm just a Titans kind of guy. So just for fun, let's give me Bobby Boucher.
That was my.
There you go.
That was going to be my first pick, but I was like, man, we got to get the Titans a quarterback. So Willie Beeman.
Jimmy says for the Buffalo Bills, he's taking Bugs Bunny.
Okay,
that's a good one.
There you go.
And then Gerks, he's new to the show. He's a good buddy, good friend. He says, I'm taking the son from The Incredibles, the Quick Kid.
Okay. All right. So, we can go all the way across the board with fictional characters.
Right.
It doesn't have to be just
Dash,
sports
that's
characters.
His name, Dash. Thank you.
Shoot, if we're going to go that direction, I think doesn't Thanos, he's the guy with the hammer or whatever?
No, that's Thor.
Thor, okay.
Yeah.
He could throw that sucker far away, can he?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a pretty good quarterback to have. But my favorite superhero of all time, which some people don't even consider him a superhero, is Batman, though.
Yeah,
I just love those.
High intelligence, got a lot of money.
He's more of a billionaire with toys.
Mm-hmm. That is a superhero I would like to be.
I'd like to be a billionaire, too. Agreed.
Yeah. 850-215-6290. Evan Griffin says Bobby Boucher to the Tampa Bay Bucks. But it wouldn't get any. Everybody's drafting Bobby Boucher. Caveman Ricks, Eagles draft Bobby Boucher. So he's going to be the most popular to this point, but still curious to hear your guys' answers. 850-215-6290.
Are we doing any other sports with this?
We can.
Okay, give me Vaughn.
Rick Vaughn?
Give me Rick. Rick Vaughn.
Rick Vaughn.
All right, which team? Now, I know you're a fan of the NL Central, add the Rays. Which team are you putting?
The Cubs need a closer so bad right now.
Cubs need bullpen help really badly.
Cubs can hit the ball. Cubs cannot stop you from hitting the ball, and that's a problem.
There you go. So a wild thing headed to the Cubs. All right, baseball-wise, for you.
Same movie, same team. Give me Pedro Serrano. I need a power bat in the outfield.
Well, give me Willie Mays Hayes. Same movie. We'll just keep it rolling right there. And
Willie Mays Hayes and Michael Harrison Acuna in the same outfield.
Yeah, I like it, man. Jerks and Profar's out there trying to hang out with Superman and whatnot. So we'll take Willie Mays Hayes. All right. So then, if we're doing that, we've got to go to basketball, right?
Bugs Bunny.
All right. So you're going to go Bugs Bunny. What team you drafting for?
The NBA.
All right, for the NBA, I think are we all going to go? You know who I'm going to go with, since we're just keeping this lighthearted and fun? Give me Air Bud. Air Bud to the Indiana Pacers.
I'm going to go a little deep here. James might remember this movie. It's probably too old for you.
All right.
Do you remember the movie The Sixth Man with the Wayans brothers? Not Keenan, but like the other two. And then his brother dies and comes back as a ghost. I'm taking the ghost brother to come in and help the Celtics.
This is what movie is that?
The Sixth Man.
The Sixth Man. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, they play for the Washington Huskies in college, and his brother, passes away, and then they end up coming back, and he comes back as a ghost or whatever. It's really silly. It's kind of fun. But that's who I would take. I would take the dead brother that come back to help.
Okay, so I guess from the last Boy Scout, we've got from Travis Oglesby. He says Jimmy Dix for the Giants quarterback from the last Boy Scout. And then Tim Adams says Paul Wrecking Crew, Adam Sandler from the this says whole 9 yards, but
no,
it's
whole
the
9 yards. It's the longest yard. Yeah, whole 9 yards was Matthew Perry and Bruce Willis.
I don't think I've ever seen that. And for baseball, Tim says, give me a couple of those Angels in the outfield.
There you go.
I'll take 3 of them as well, Tim. I think that would be just fine. Do you have any more over there on YouTube?
No. Girk says he loves the Air Bud call.
Okay, yeah. That was one of my favorite movies, man. It didn't matter what sport they put that golden retriever in. I'd still pick them. Let's see. Wait, Air Bud was more for football, but he did play basketball, right?
He did basketball,
basketball was the first one, right?
Yeah, and he did a hockey movie, too.
Yeah.
I think they covered basically everything. I think
yeah.
they even did a soccer movie with him.
And then there was an orangutan that played baseball, right?
Oh, I don't know if
there was a little chimpanzee that played hockey, too.
Was there? Okay. I don't remember that one.
I remember that was back in the 2000s. I was still living in Nashville, and one of the intermissions for the Preds was they bought the chimp out, and he actually skated around the ice for us. Everybody claps.
Jimmy said he would draft Henry Rowan-Gardner from The Rookie.
Oh, yeah. See, well, that's the Rookie of the Year because the rookie's Dennis Quaid, because that was also one of my favorite movies growing up. My favorite of all time, though, was absolutely Old Yeller. That was my favorite movie. It is a sad movie, but man.
I figured David loved the upbeat ending on that one.
And my second favorite movie was probably Davy Crockett. So, yeah, my mom, I remember the VHS cases and everything. They were like those classic cases. Jack Patterson says for the Miami Dolphins, give him Adam Sandler from The Longest Yard. So that is 2 for him, for Adam Sandler. Wright State Chris says he feels much better today, but still has a little discomfort, and they came out of nowhere. So hopefully everything is A-okay, or at least on the way to being that way. You can win a 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida t-shirt. All you got to do is go get our app. Go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and type in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. When you get the app, smash the Enter Contest button. NBA playoffs are we're not in the middle of them, but we're
in the start.
Yeah, we're at the beginning of the NBA playoffs. Pacers go up 2-0 on the Bucks last night, 128-115. It was a chippy game last night. Tyrese
Is that why you're wearing that horrendous hat?
I love this hat too.
I know you do, but it's horrendous.
But yeah, I know, and I think a lot of people, especially of your ilk, would say something like that. But yeah, that is exactly actually why I'm wearing the hat, because, I mean, the Braves got absolutely whipped last night 10-4, so I was just disgusted. Like, we can lose, that's fine, but when you're, you know, in a tie ball game going into the final inning and you lose like that, no. Shame on you. I'll represent you the following day. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning also embarrassed yesterday evening, so I was like, hey, let me show a little love to the Pacers, and I barely ever get to wear this hat. So it is one of those that, you know, if you wear this all the time, I think
Jimmy wants to do a new hat bet with you and lose on purpose to get you a new different hat.
Okay, well, I've got like 80 hats, bro. So, you know, just appreciate the greatness, especially this logo right here. That's one of my favorite Pacers logos of all time. Oh, also, what grinds my gears: the Pacers for the first 2 games of this series. Can we stop wearing these stupid? Look, they're cool to wear during the season, but these City Connect jerseys, wear your regular jerseys in the NBA.
Yes, any playoff team at any playoff point in any playoff league. Please listen to David Hayes. Take the floor again.
Well, I hate those uniforms are cool a couple of times during the season, right? You know, and they're starting to wear them so much more. And then you got the NBA play-in tournament with the floor and everything. I mean, you want to talk about things that are louder than this hat? It's those floors and it's these City Connect jerseys. Which, again, I'm not complaining about the jerseys. I'm saying when you get to the playoffs, hey, we should be wearing our traditional jerseys. Regular home jersey, regular away jersey, maybe.
They do it in the NFL, right? So the NFL has their color run or color whatever.
Color rush is what it was.
Color rush, you know, jerseys. And, you know, the Bengals have the white helmets and whatever, but they're not allowed to wear that, you know, if they make it to the playoffs, right? It's the same thing for any other team. You know, your Titans can't wear their, the navy blue, I think is what it is.
Well, they're going to make their regular home jersey what has been their alternate in the past, which is the baby blue jersey.
But they couldn't wear that before this year.
Right, they had to wear the dark blues. They had to wear the navies before then.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that they had to do
they can't wear, you can't wear any other, whatever your home team jersey is or your away team jersey is, if it's the Cowboys, it's all the same thing.
In the playoffs.
But in the playoffs, you have to wear those traditional uniforms.
Yeah, NHL does the same thing. You wear your regular jerseys.
Yeah. And I think that's how... And the NHL doesn't have as many crazy jerseys. They still have, they'll wear the retros, and then you'll, like, if you're in the Stadium Series, you'll wear a Stadium Series jersey, and then you'll have, like, a Saturday alternate or a certain alternate that you wear on a certain day, and I'm okay with that. I like switching it up and all of that stuff, but when we get to the playoffs, we need to look like who we're supposed to look like. Si, senor.
I concur, Doctor.
All right. Jack Patterson says, does anyone know when the draft is? He hasn't heard yet. Jack, you're right on time, because the draft is tomorrow evening, which is why we kind of use that call-in question for the day, and we'll take your calls all afternoon long. Right, Stay Chris? Before we dive into Banji Bomadella's segment, talking some local sports, he says, would the Lightning take Happy Gilmore? No, but I'm blanking on who was Adam Sandler when he played, when he was trying to play. Wait, that was Happy.
He was Happy Gilmore when he was trying to play golf. Or when he
was playing hockey.
Before.
Yeah. No, I still don't think we'd take him, man. I still
you couldn't skate.
Tap it in.
Don't want that.
That's right. That's right. But sometimes you need that enforcer. I think last night we could have used a little Happy Gilmore. It got chippy at times, but we'll talk with James later on.
Needs the knuckle puck.
Yeah, there you go. That and then the flying V. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Coming up next, Banji Bomadella.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Mostly sunny the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze coming out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour and temps near 78. Tonight we will have slight fog and mostly clear skies and be quite warm at 67. A variety of slight fog and mostly sunshine tomorrow and a high 80. Slight fog Friday with a temp of 81. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. The road is yours. Let spring adventures begin in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and check out the 2025 SUV family. Take a test drive and see the all-new features that elevate any adventure. And now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust at Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage. $1,748 per month per 1,000 financed in 60 months. Quality is limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/30/25.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. Get the edge on the competition with the latest lines, expert picks, and everything you need to place your bets. Elevate your game day experience with ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Braves Country, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Braves' next game on ESPN should be tomorrow. Oh, man, that's going to stink if it is tomorrow night, though. I think we have the day off. I do believe that we have the day off tomorrow. Okay, good, because we had a little issue with DJB today, so I wasn't able to create the clock for that game. But that's going to be Friday, and coverage will start at 7:25 for an 8:40 first pitch. Man, almost had me. Almost gave myself.
It's going to be a late night tonight.
Yeah, right. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. David Hayes, Adam Goff, along with James Fife, live and local from the CBC Construction Studios. Our call-in question of the day: if your team had to draft a fictional character, who's your first-round pick? You can text or call the Jed Lawyers phone line at 850-215-6290. As we welcome in with us Banji Bomadella. He is your local sports reporter for the Panama City News Herald. Does such a wonderful job. Banji, how are you on this Wednesday?
I am doing great. How are you guys doing?
Man, just living the dream. People are making fun of my hat right now. I know that you can't see it, but I'm wearing an Indiana Pacers hat, and it's got the throwback logo on it, and it's got a whole bunch of different colors on it.
It's like an Aztec rug with the Pacers logo on it.
That's a good way to put it. Yes, it would be something you would see in Mexico, but I'm getting a little bit of flack for it. I think you would appreciate my hat because we are of that same ilk where we like fancy hats. One of my favorite hats that Banji has is that one that it's the Crayola hat, right?
Yes, sir.
I love that hat. We are in the midst of some great high school baseball playoff action. Break down some of the biggest, all of the games that's been going on for our local teams.
So Monday was the beginnings of the regional quarterfinals. We had 4 local teams. We had Arnold, Bay, Mosley, and Bozeman. So because Mosley is in a higher classification, their baseball series actually starts today, Wednesday, and will be played Wednesday, Thursday, and if there's a third game, that third game will be played on Saturday. But the games that we saw on Monday, ladies and gentlemen, Arnold, the number 1 seed in Class 4A in their region, Arnold, Eli Blair, Florida commit, also MLB prospect. He pitched a no-hitter in the 9-0 victory. And then on Tuesday, his teammate Cooper Moss, another Florida commit, would not be intimidated by such a performance. He throws his own no-hitter, and Arnold sweeps the series 2-0. The Marlins move on, and then Bozeman, Monday night, we see something we've never seen before. Bozeman let 11 runs get scored in that final inning against Bowles. They lose that game 17-5. So then yesterday, Tuesday, they play against Bowles again. They're at home, and something happened. Something's changed. The mood is different over there, and Bozeman gets a 9-3 victory. So Game 3, the winner takes all. The elimination game will be played on Thursday over there in Jacksonville. And then I can't forget about Bay High. Bay High, they won their district championship for Class 3A, and you know how they got rewarded? They got rewarded with South Walton, not only the number one team in the class or the region, they're the number one team in the state of Florida. And they're also on a lot of different websites, top 15 in the country. So they traveled over there to South Walton. You know, they have Coleman Borthwick, he's an Auburn guy. They have many guys going to Georgia Tech, Auburn, Florida State, Troy. So they have so many guys, and Bay unfortunately lost both games, 10-0, and were eliminated. So that's the state of baseball in Bay County right now.
Ooh, that is, I mean, across the board, some great stuff. Now, were the first two games for Bozeman and Bowles, were those over at Bozeman?
Yes. Each team that has the higher seed hosts the first two games, and then if you go to a third game, it goes to the lower seed.
I don't know how I feel about that. We were talking about that on the Inside Drive, because if you're, you know, that third game is going to be the most pivotal, so why would that go to the lower seed? I get the travel ramifications and all of that stuff, and then again, if you're Bowles, it's kind of hard to be away from school for 3 full days. But yeah, and it gives you a nice break. So you know, it is what it is. I just think at the high school level, the higher or the better seed should be hosting all 3 games. But that's, you know, they don't ask me for any of my input or opinions on any of that. Now going back to Eli Blair and Cooper Moss, both of them throwing no-hitters. I know that there's not a statistic on this that's just readily available, but have you ever heard, or any of you guys or any of our listeners ever heard of back-to-back no-hitters in high school baseball?
I have never heard of it. I was talking about it this morning. I was just like, I don't even know if in the pros that has ever happened where back-to-back nights, no-hitters, because just getting a no-hitter in general is tough as it is. Back-to-back?
Yeah. That's impressive stuff, and both of them headed to Florida. So great. And what is next again for Arnold? Is Choctaw?
It's number 4 Choctaw. That series starts next Monday at Arnold.
All right, and so it'll be the same thing where Monday and Tuesday are at Arnold, and if they go to a third game, then it would be over there in Choctawhatchee.
Yes, sir. It's part of the best-of-3 series that they've brought back. First time they're doing it since 2009.
Well, it's Benji, it sounds to me like they actually got it right on giving these teams rest in between, rounds on these games, because it sounds to me like, Arnold has its 2 best weapons. Obviously, they're pitching, lights out. They would like to have them, available for this next series, and it sounds like they're actually going to get that time and that rest off, that time off and that rest to go into that series with their 2 best weapons. So kudos to Florida for at least getting that part of it right.
Yeah. And how do... Go ahead, Benji.
No, I was going to say, without a doubt, I mean, I talked with both Coach Jones and Coach Patton up there at Bozeman, and they're both just like, it's all about depth right here. Whichever team has as much depth as possible in the pitching position, those are going to be the teams, because it's 3 games. You have to win 2. You can throw as many guys up there on the mound as you can, but whoever just has the more quality of pitchers are probably going to win the series.
All right, well, let's mosey on over to softball. What's going on there? We haven't quite reached the playoffs in softball, have we?
No, we have not. We're kind of playing the last couple of games of the season. I know last night, North Bay Haven, they had their senior night, and they defeated Alta 6-1. And I know Arnold lost to Holmes County, I believe, 4-2. So, Arnold's kind of, slowly rolling to the postseason, while North Bay Haven is keeping that high. I believe they're 18-3. North Bay Haven is one of the top teams, not only in the Panhandle, but probably in the state of Florida. Along with Arnold, Arnold's, kind of, like I said, they're kind of stumbling into the postseason, but they're going to be the 2 teams, I believe, for Bay County that, can have a lengthy postseason run.
All right, and Banji will keep us up to date on all the latest happenings. Speaking of the latest happenings, you were at 2 different signing days this afternoon. Maybe one of them still going on. Again, thanks so much for your time. Tell us about some of the signings happening around Bay County High School athletics.
So, yes, I was the first one was at 3 p.m. at North Bay Haven. It was Sophia Santos. She was a volleyball player. She's signing to the Baptist University of Florida. she was actually the only senior on the North Bay Haven volleyball team that reached the Sweet 16. So I talked to her a little bit about how, what it meant to be, you're the only one. All the focus is on you because you're the leader. You're the only leader on the team because you're the only upperclassman like that. And she was just talking about how it was fun. It was a great experience just to have all the attention on her, kind of like all the underclassmen doing whatever she wanted her to do. So it was amazing. But then over there at Bay High, we had 10 athletes.
Oh, I'm not writing all these down. This.
Yeah, I'll just start. Okay, so we had Trace Brooks, baseball. He's going to Baptist University of Florida. Okay. We have Andrew Scott, who's also a baseball player. He's going to Bluefield University. Then we have Oliver Pratt, the Bay County Boys Basketball Player of the Year. He's also going to Baptist University of Florida. Then we have Chris Noble. He's going to play football at Faulkner. We have Caleb Toombs. He's going to play football at Livingston. Zach Roper playing football at Huntington. Kavarius Manley playing football at Peru State. Jaden Foreman playing football at Capital University. Jamarian Hall playing football at William Wood University. And then Ariana Arnold playing softball at Andrew College.
Yeah, and while we're talking Bay High athletes, Tank Washington, who went to Bay, went over there to Gulf Coast State College. He is transferring to North Alabama, Division I basketball. So that's great stuff there. I believe I think he went somewhere else after Gulf Coast for his sophomore year, and he'll be at North Alabama next year, which is a team that I believe made some noise getting close to the tournament, but not getting any cigar. Banji, who is your baller of the week?
Well, I want to make it two, because it got to be the two guys over there, Arnold, Eli Blair, and Cooper Moss. No hitters back-to-back nights. I mean, you can't get more baller than that. Those are my ballers of the week.
Now, how many? I know Eli only had one walk in his, and there was an error as well. What about Cooper? Do you know how many walks he had?
I believe Cooper had 3.
Okay, all right. So there you go. So I wonder what kind of competition they have, with each other, especially.
Oh, I'm sure.
You got to. They've been playing ball together longer than just their high school career, and they're going to be going to Florida together, and hopefully they make the MLB draft together as well.
Well, it's going to be interesting, right? I mean, because they have a choice. They can get drafted and go.
Yeah.
More than likely they'll end up in like the Arizona Rec League or Florida Rec League or something like that, depending upon which team drafts them. Or they could go to Florida and pitch. And I don't know if you're keeping up with college baseball, but Florida is typically a really, really good baseball school.
Having a down year, so maybe they can
research. And it's because of their pitching.
Yeah.
Right? So these two kids coming in there could really, really do some, do some work and probably have spots in the rotation, early on in their college careers. So, these two young men definitely have a big decision coming up. I think, they probably end up getting drafted, both of them. It just depends on, what kind of money's thrown at them, what kind of opportunity. And, same can be said for Florida. What kind of opportunities are they going to get down there? So it's an interesting decision for those two young men to make. And, hopefully they got the right people around them to help them make that decision.
Banju, we got the NBA playoffs going on live right now. You're a fan of LeBron James, but right now, technically, the Lakers. So what'd you think of their performance last night? Luka had a great performance, but evening up that series with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's a good sign because the Lakers, they could not have gone down 0-2 because all these memes of Lakers in 5, I was just like, I think it could be possible. I think that, the game plan was so obvious, though, yesterday. It was just go at Rudy Gobert, go at Naz Reid, just go at these bigs. And, you saw Luka had Rudy Gobert spinning and spinning and spinning. Like, it makes me really wonder how Rudy Gobert ever won any of these DPOYs because every time I see him play, it's just bad. But, yeah, it's a good sign. I mean, as long as Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, it has to be those collective, do what they need to do. The Lakers are going to move on against the Timberwolves.
Who would you say is the most overrated player in the NBA?
Overrated? Oh, we're asking this again? Let's see.
Did we do that last week?
Did we do that last week?
I think we did that last week.
Were you here last week?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, the reason
he said Tatum, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. Well, the only reason I was even asking that is because The Athletic had asked 90 players who the most overrated player was, and a lot of them were saying Tyrese Halliburton, right? So how do you feel about Halliburton? I'll rephrase the question for you.
You know what? It's a lot of things. When watching Tyrese Halliburton, that three-point shooting form is disgusting. Like, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. So
I think the word you're looking for, Benji, is broke.
Broke, but like it works though, AG. It works.
Right, but Sean Marion's shot was broke, but it worked. You know what I mean? Like, you can say it's broke and it still works.
But no, because I guess some things can be broken and still work, like human beings, right?
Broken clock, right twice a day.
Right? There you go.
There you go. All right.
You know what I'm upset about? I'm sorry. As a Hawks fan, I need to get this off. Trae Young being third on that is upsetting because he doesn't do anything to nobody. He gets snubbed every year for being not being an all-star. Yet he's somehow overrated. Man, miss me with that.
Okay, I like that. I like that stance on it. So, are you a bigger Lakers fan, or is it just LeBron's your GOAT and you're a Hawks fan?
I'm a Hawks fan. LeBron's my GOAT, but Kyrie's my favorite player of all time.
Hey, there you go, man. I like it. The man knows what he likes. What about some of the other series? On PTI right now, they're talking about the Grizzlies and the Bucks. Which series do you think is actually over right now? The Grizzlies, who are getting absolutely dominated by the Thunder, or the Bucks, who have fought back and forth, literally I guess athletically with the Pacers. But what do you think? Grizzlies or Bucks? Which team does not have a shot?
Grizzlies, and it's not like we all saw that game one. We all saw it was awful. But I would say this: I feel sorry for Giannis. Like, he puts up 32 and 18, 32 and 15, 40 and 15, and they still lose. Giannis, just leave, man. That's all I got to say about that. That series is over, too, even though I hate to say it because you're a Pacers fan, but that series is over, too.
Wait, why do you hate to say that?
Because I'm a Hawks fan. We always had to play against, prime Paul George and all that.
Yeah.
Benji, who do your Falcons take tomorrow?
Yeah, that's where I was,
Oh, you know what? We need an edge rusher because we thought signing Matthew Judon was going to answer our problems, and we saw how that went. So we're going to get an edge rusher. I'm hoping for the guy from Alabama. Is it Jihad Campbell? I'm hoping for him.
I think he's going to be one of the best players. Like, when you look at next year. Again, it's...
Okay, Homer.
Well, no, I'm just saying he was my favorite player on the team last year. I was like, this guy brings it every single time. Abdul Carter's not going to be playing until later in the year. Who knows how that's going to work out? And so I don't know. I think that when it comes to defensive players, he is definitely going to be someone to watch out for. And if he can land on the Falcons, man, they do need a little bit more defensive help. Yeah, we'll see how how Michael Penix ends up working out, because I'll definitely be rooting for him, man. I think he's a cool story. Banji, thanks so much for your time, my friend.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, you have a great day as well. That's Banji Bombadella. He is the local sports reporter here for the Panama City News Herald. Does a wonderful job covering all of the athletes, talking with the coaches, and then giving us some of his time here on the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. When we get back, a trivia question. We've got more answers for our call-in question of the day, and then we'll talk a little hockey with James Fife.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
I was a bench warmer. No, but you can.
He was left out.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Yes.
No, actually, it happens. You are crazy, but
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Mostly sunny the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze coming out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour and temps near 78. Tonight we will have slight fog and mostly clear skies and be quite warm at 67. A variety of slight fog and mostly sunshine tomorrow and a high 80. Slight fog Friday with a temp of 81. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting is a fifth-generation contracting company based right here out of Bay County. TK Vandy's expertise in commercial and residential roofing, as well as a design, build general contractor, set them aside as a versatile and fresh alternative to achieve your construction needs. Contact TK Vandy Roofing, 850-866-9908, or email support@tkvandy.com. They can't wait to help you.
It's David Hayes with a message that could save you thousands. Jed Lawyers never charges you up front. You heard me. You pay absolutely nothing unless they win your case. No gimmicks, no surprise bills, just real legal help after a car crash or injury. They're right in downtown Panama City on McKenzie Avenue, fighting hard for people just like you. Call 850-852-0000 or head to jedwins.com to get started.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. They're number one in the men's room.
I hope this place comes with toilet paper.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Oh, geez, this is going to be a photo finish.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're moving and grooving here on the Afternoon Underdogs. Thanks to James Fife. We also have Adam Goff in the building with us. Make sure that you keep it locked in here for hour number 2. We're going to have Morgan with Mo's Notes and talking some college baseball. But we also have 4 questions with Fano to lead off hour number 2, which is always a lot of fun. We got a little opportunity to play some golf this last weekend at the Panama Country Club for the Mosley football fundraiser. Real quick here, I want to get to the people who put our team together.
Okay.
So it was me, you, Kyle Wright, and his brother Dave Ham, his brother-in-law Dave Ham. But it was Gene McGuire and Cindy McGuire that put the money together for our team. So it's actually my first time announcing that, just being thankful for it. So that was a lot of fun. Though it was great playing golf with you this last Saturday.
Yeah, it was a good group. Really quick scramble.
Yeah,
to be honest with you,
we're scrambling.
I looked up and it was like, we have 3 holes left to go.
Yeah.
Like I felt like we didn't get that much golf in. But
and it felt like there was a time when we had just made the turn going into number 2, and we're like, or no, I think it was when we're on 16. A lot of golf to play, and next thing you know, it's over.
Yeah, it's gone. It was about 4 hours and 15 minutes all told for a scramble. That's pretty quick.
And
so
good food afterwards.
Great food, great people. Had a lot of fun. Kyle ended up winning a couple door prizes as
how
well.
About that? I got a daggum Odyssey putter, I believe. Cleveland putter, and
gift certificate to a restaurant.
Some sort of restaurant there. But a lot of fun there. It looked like everyone had a great time. They did a great job putting it together, and looking forward to some Bay County football in general. Of course, I love the Mosley Dolphins being able to call their games, but I am non-biased when it comes to all of the schools here in Bay County, and I root for all of you silently whenever it's when you're playing Mosley, though, because they do sound that paycheck for me. We are live from the CBC Construction Studios, and we have a call-in question for the day for you guys. That is, if your team had to draft a fictional character, who's your first-round pick? On the Jed Lawyers phone line, 850-215-6290. We had some more text coming in from Daniel. He says, give me the Monstars jacked up starting 5 from Space Jam. I like that. Just don't let the Looney Tunes come in and play against you, because then you might be in trouble. Gator Pete, hope you've been doing well. He says, can't believe it. I'll take Forrest Gump for the Jaguars. Just keep running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Another honorable mention here from Travis Oglesby. He says, Becky Icebox O'Shea.
Oh, nice. Little Giants.
Oh, yeah.
The Icebox. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt. That was the coach's daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Mr. Ed says, Ravens pick Shane Falco's girlfriend and the cheer squad. And then someone else says Shane Falco to to the Steelers, 8945. If you don't mind, 8945, text me in your name so I can save you for future comments, because that's not your first time that you have commented here with the Afternoon Underdogs, and we do appreciate every single text and every single listen. All right, trivia question for today. Who's the only player ever drafted number 1 overall without playing college football? There's only one player, and he did play semi-pro football, but the only player ever drafted number 1 overall without playing college football. I'm going to give you one gift card worth $25 to Not The, but That Boot Store, 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, and an ESPN Northwest Florida t-shirt. Call the Jed Lawyers phone line at 850-215-6290. Professor Plum says, I would draft Superman for the Vikings. I think that's a slam dunk right there, to have Superman on your team. I mean, just think about a team full of superheroes, AG. That would be wild. No, it's this is for football, for the NFL. For the NFL.
Yeah, he was drafted by an NFL
team. Okay. So Dave Winfield was the guest for
he
Adam
was drafted
Goff
by
there.
all 3 major leagues.
Oh, do you remember where he was drafted?
I don't.
I had a lot of his baseball cards.
He was drafted in the NFL, MLB, and NBA, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go. So let's get over to the phone line. Jimmy, you're right in with the Afternoon Underdogs here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Thanks for calling the Jed Lawyers phone line. Who's the only player ever drafted number 1 overall without playing college football?
I want to say Warren Moon.
Ooh, I like that, but he played at Alcorn State, so he did play college football. Jimmy, thanks so much for the call. Who's your favorite team? NFL.
Titans.
Titans. Okay, so you're right here with all of us. Are we taking Cam Ward?
Probably not.
Oh, you don't think? All right, that's the first that I've heard that in a while. What do you think a trade happens? Because the GM came out yesterday saying that they are going to stick there, but you know how that goes. I mean, does it mean that they are going to stick right there, especially if a nice offer comes up? So what do the Titans do at number 1?
They might, but concerns me is Cam Ward in the bowl game where he just sat out when the door was closed. I mean, I'm not the GM, but I don't know. They got a lot of needs. Defense is solid. I'd have to, I haven't looked into it enough.
We do have a lot of needs. I do think we're going to be sticking with Cam Ward right there, but hey, nothing will surprise me. Jimmy, thanks so much for the call, my friend.
Yeah, man.
All right, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Who's the only player ever drafted number 1 overall without playing college football? Call the Jed Lawyers phone line, 850-215-6290. Now, we're going to try to do this unless James has to take another call. But, James, what did you see last night from? All right, and we'll talk to myself real quick here. The Lightning and the Panthers. It was abysmal. The first period was nice, but that momentum shift at the end of the first period when the Panthers went up 2-1. I don't know why. It seemed like the Lightning kind of just got in their head, and then they made it 5-2 late in the second period, which, hey, we've already seen in this playoff a 3-goal deficit being overcame. Now, they didn't end up winning the game, but it was a tough game last night. I look for the Lightning to bounce back in game 2. We've got Rob. Rob, is this Lynn Haven, Rob?
I'm sorry, say that.
No, never mind. This is not Lynn Haven, Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
It's a new Rob.
Yeah, this is a new Rob. All right. Rob, who's your favorite NFL team?
If I say the Dallas Cowboys, you may ridicule me.
I'm not going to ridicule you while you're live on the air. I'll wait till we get you off the phone line, okay? Who's the only player ever drafted number 1 overall without playing college football?
You know, it's crazy how I know this, being a historian of sort. But this guy actually played before the NFL was actually popular like it is now, back in the 30s.
Ooh.
I got 2 in mind. I'm going to take a guess.
All right.
Is it Jay Berwanger?
No, I believe
I'm not sure.
And that was the first player that was ever drafted, I believe, was Jay Burwanger. I think that he played college football, and I've just got to go with the trivia question that I've got here. He actually won the Heisman Trophy. Jay Burwanger played, he was the most valuable player east of the Mississippi. I'm trying to see. Oh, he played at Chicago. From 1933 to 1935. But, Rob, final question that we'll ask you is, who did the Dallas Cowboys draft tomorrow evening?
Will they draft tomorrow evening?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody we don't know about.
There we go.
Rob, let me ask you this. What if they take Omarion Hampton, the running back out of North Carolina?
That's a typical scout move. I mean, that's a football GM would probably do something like that, but Jerry's going to go for the gusto. He wants some recognition. He'll probably pick a name player, maybe an Alabama player. Who's on the board from Alabama? He's just thirsty, man. Jerry likes attention, so I think it'll be a name. Now, back in the day, they had, what's his name, Tex Ram and all those guys. They would find those small college players or obscure players and draft those, but I don't see him getting the running back from North Carolina.
Rob, I think you're not the typical Cowboys fan, and I like that. Rob, thanks so much for the call, man, and call back anytime. It was great to hear from you.
I want to know the answer to that question, though.
You're going to have to keep listening, man. I got to get somebody to try to get it right.
All right.
All right. Keep on listening, and y'all keep on calling. Who's the only player ever drafted #1 overall without playing college football? I'll make a deal with you guys. If at 5:20, if by the time we get Morgan on, if we don't have an answer for this trivia question, then we will reveal the answer so you don't have to wait too terribly long. 850-215-6290. Who is the only player ever drafted #1 overall without playing college football? Now, James, what'd you see from the Lightning and the Panthers last night?
Oh, I saw a lot from the Panthers last night.
Yeah.
I saw a lot from the Panthers.
A lot of scoring, right?
They're just a different team when Matt Tkachuk is on the ice.
They are, and he only had 10 minutes or something. He was
scored twice?
2 goals, man. 2 goals. And that's the thing that I think really killed him. That gave the Panthers such motivation, and it just totally just killed the Lightning. Vasilevsky was out of it after the first 5 minutes. You could just see it in his face.
Well, not the first 5 minutes. First 5 minutes maybe of the second period, because that's when they started piling it on. Because he bounced back after that first goal. That first goal, I can't remember who knocked it in. It wasn't Dubois. Oh, man. Whatever. It was hand-eye coordination to a T. The puck was
Sam Bennett on the first
Sam
goal.
Bennett, that's right. And just kind of knocked it right behind Vasilevsky. That was such a hard save. But then he bounced back. But really, it wasn't as much Vasi as it was the defense in front of him, because from after the time that they scored the goal, they went about 13 minutes without even taking a shot.
Yeah, and there were a couple of times last night that they were just, 10, 5, I didn't even think at one point a 15-minute break. Between shots. You got to at least get something towards the net on the net, because, that's how you win in hockey. You got to put the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah.
So who are the favorites in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Well, give me one from each conference.
Well, yeah, the #1 overall seeds on each side are the Winnipeg Jets and the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, Washington.
Washington is a team that they've cooled off a lot since
that's Ovi, right? Ovechkin?
Yeah, since Ovechkin got the record. They've kind of cooled off since then, and Montreal kind of gave them a little bit of a scare in Game 1 on Monday evening. To me, I think you're looking at between Florida and Tampa. I think that's fair enough to say that one of those two teams. It seems like whenever those two teams, 4 out of the last 5 years, play in the playoffs against each other, one of those teams goes on to either play for the Stanley Cup or hoist the Stanley Cup. So I would stick right there. I'm not going to change it till things have started changing on the West side in the Western Conference. Where are you leaning right now, James?
Because I'm on Vegas right now.
Vegas?
Winnipeg won the President's Trophy, and that is a death sentence, so you can take Winnipeg out of the situation right now. Dallas right now so injured that I just don't believe in them, although they did have a great game last night, Or not last night.
We squirting imaginary flies over there? What's going on?
No, spraying for ants. Actually, it's a little... I think
Sorry, there was a guy over there standing behind James, and he's squirting something over in the corner, and I'm going, what in the world is going on?
Last Thursday or Friday, we had like a little incident where the black ants were going rampant. So we've got someone in the building right now taking care of business.
Taking care of business.
Our trivia question of the day is, who is the only player ever drafted #1 overall without playing college football? Carla says that she knows the answer on Facebook.
Call in, Mike.
Yeah, call in, and we we'll see if you do know the answer. I mean, she's 1 for 1 on trivia, right?
She is, yes.
She's batting 1,000 here on the Afternoon Underdogs. I mean, if she's calling right now, go ahead and put her on, James, and we will. We can go a little bit late. I think he's trying to get here into the room so that he can take care of business in this room real quick here. But, well, let's see what we got from James. It is Carla? All right. Wait, no? Justin, you're riding with the afternoon. Jason, sorry about that. We need a new marker for our whiteboard because I can barely see that. All right, Jason, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Who's the only player ever drafted #1 overall without playing college football?
I heard Jay Barringer earlier, but I'm going to go with Eric Swan.
Eric Swan is 100% correct. Daniel said Eric Swan did not do that. Calling in, great question. Did not know that. Okay. So that's why he's. So, Jason, yes, you are correct. He was drafted by the Cardinals in my birth year of 1991 out of semi-pro football. He played for the Bay State Titans instead of going to college. Eric Swan is correct. Do me a favor, Jason. Jason, have you ever called in before?
First-time caller.
I love first-time callers, man. So try to text in that phone line, 850-215-6290, whenever you're going to come pick it up so that I can meet you. I love shaking first-time callers' hands. And stay on the line real quick. James is going to grab your information. All right, bud?
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Eric Swan was the correct answer. I hope you're still listening, Rob. And we didn't have to make you wait till 5:20. But keep it locked in here to ESPN Northwest Florida. 4 questions with Fano coming up next.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Expired is up next. Tennessee fans, what is wrong with you? You are wishing this guy well. Oh, he's just a kid. He took you to the altar, got you knocked up, and left you at the freaking altar with twins.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. Tonight there will be a calm wind, mostly clear skies and 66. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 78. In the afternoon and evening, a mixture of light sprinkles and sunshine and a gentle breeze right around 10 miles per hour with a high of 80. Same at 80, and we'll have more sunshine. Forecasts brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Get your mom a beautiful color gemstone that she'll cherish and wear for a lifetime from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. And just in time, Tracy's Fine Jewelry is offering our entire collection of color gemstone jewelry, rings, earrings, pendants, and bracelets at 60% off. That's right, 60% off our entire selection. The largest selection and the lowest prices are just some of the reasons why people choose Tracy's Fine Jewelry to find the perfect gift for Mother's Day. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, 2621 East 15th Street in Panama City.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. Hot takes, the latest trades, in-depth interviews.
That is my reaction.
We break it down for you right here.
Very big springboard for the rest of my career.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
That's the problem right there.
4.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It is hour number 2 of the Afternoon Underdogs live and local from the CBC Construction Studios. They are looking for some great employees, so go to cbcconstruction.com, fill out an application there, or give them a call at 850-747-3815. Also tell them that you heard about them here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Our call-in question of the day: if your team had to draft a fictional character, who's your first-round pick? We're still taking text and calls here on the Jed Lawyers phone line at 850-215-6290. And then also want to remind you guys about a book signing going down at 456 Harrison Avenue, which I believe is called the Bookish Boutique. Dave Ford, he's a local author. He's a coach, motivational speaker, and life coach. He's been in a Panama City native. 23 years in sports journalism, PR, plus 7 years as a teacher and a coach here in the Panhandle. This Sunday, April 27th, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Bookish Boutique. He will be live in the studio with me Friday from 4 to 6. So looking forward to that. And Dave Ford always brings the heat. I don't know. Oh, that's Carla right there. Carla,
that is Carla.
You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Tell us about your cookies.
My cookies are amazing. But first, I didn't hear the answer to the question.
All right. Well, for a free dozen given to ESPN Northwest, we'll hook you up with a T-shirt. How does that sound? If you get the answer correct, who was the only player ever drafted #1 overall without playing college football?
So was it Eric Schwann?
Yes, it was, Carla. So we're going to send AG home with an ESPN Northwest Florida T-shirt just for you.
Carla, you should know that they only have mediums, and it looks like a dress on me.
Oh, that's the
cool.
smallest that we have.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story. You all probably know I am not a sports person. I know nothing about sports. But this actually happened. So the other day, Mr. Goff was taking a nap on the couch. And I was looking up sugar-free recipes for Randy at ESPN Radio. And Adam is asleep with YouTube on, and it starts talking about this player. And I was like, how did they not go to college football and get to play in the NFL? So I had to Google it. And I'm like, this can't even be right. And Google told me it was. So that is actually how I learned that, was from Adam taking a nap watching YouTube.
So subconsciously, you might have known that, but you just...
Maybe. I don't know.
That's a great story, Carla, and I'm so thankful that you called in with that. And I'll give you a little opportunity here to tell us about Bite Me Custom Cookies and Treats.
Well, we are a small dessert place over in St. Andrews. We make these big fluffy cookies. We make birthday cakes. We have a printer that does edible images, so we can add any logo. ESPN has been privy to a few of those cookies with the logo. We do make sugar-free and gluten-free treats. Morgan was a recipient of one of our floral cupcake bouquets for
and they
her
were
birthday.
incredible. Loved them. Thank you so much again. And for my mustache cookie. That was close to my heart.
You're welcome. We had a few people say they nominated us for the best of Bay, so we're hoping that come June that we'll get all the votes in. So
I hope that I put mine in the right category, though. I went to bakery.
We did bakery.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah, I think bakery was it. So we're excited about that, and we're thankful for ESPN letting us talk about all our sweet treats on the radio and getting the word out, because we like getting our treats in people's tummies.
Yeah, if they weren't good, I wouldn't allow it at all, but they are phenomenal. Thank you so much for the call, Carla.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Love your wife.
Bye.
I don't know if I ever shared this, but whenever she made me that, if Carla, I hope you're still listening, but whenever she made me that floral arrangement for my birthday, when I went to dinner with my parents when I left here, I took it to dinner with me, to share with them. The entire dinner, my mom kept asking me, when are you going to let me have a cupcake? When are you going to give me a cupcake? She didn't even care about anything else that was going on. She just kept asking me about the cupcakes. So they are delicious. They are fantastic. And shout out to Bookish Boutique. I actually know the owner, Jenny Kelly. She's a great person, so you guys should definitely go catch the book signing there this weekend.
I mean, he signed all 3 of the books that I have already, but I'm still going to go support him because I missed out on the other opera. I don't know if this is his 3rd time or 2nd time, but I know that I missed out on the first opportunity to go check out Dave Ford. And again, just a awesome individual who cares, especially when it comes to mental health in sports, but mental health all across the board. James Fife, Morgan Hilliard, Adam Goff, David Hayes, we're the Afternoon Underdogs, and text or call us on the Jed Lawyer phone line, 850-215-6290. And now it's time for 4 questions for Fano. Pitch clock, bigger bases, robo-umps in 2026. Which rule change do you secretly love or possibly hate the most?
I actually love the pitch clock. I think it is. I think it has advanced the game. It's made it a little more fast paced. Not only are you sitting there, watching the game and a lot shorter time frame, but it feels like it's a little bit more intense too.
Yeah.
And then of course, like I don't know if you heard it the last week. At a Cincinnati game, they were playing the Rangers, I think it was, and the Reds were up like 14-1 or 12-1 or something, and the pitcher ended up getting a pitch clock violation. And then so the next pitch, the fans started counting down. Instead of it being at like 8, the fans were at 5.
Yeah.
And so like the entire crowd, which was, not very big because it was Cincinnati, but it was enough that you could hear it on TV, and they started counting it down, and he ends up walking the next guy. So
it's kind of like Giannis being at the line and the Pacers coming up with their own little shot clock as well.
Right. So it's pretty interesting. But I do love the pitch clock. There's a lot of people that don't like the larger bases because they feel like it makes it easier to steal. I don't know that stealing is as big this year as it was last year. I don't see a whole lot of teams really kind of trying to utilize that and being that aggressive. I mean, it's early still, but that could change. But teams aren't stealing nearly as much as they were last year. Robo-umps, I'm not all for, full-blown, robo strike zone, but man, there's got to be some kind of system to check and balance these guys out, because there's some atrocious calls out there that go both ways that really, really change the momentum of not just the game, but that individual at bat.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with that. And with the robo-umps, there's still going to be umpires on the field, and those umpires are still going to be calling balls and strikes. But one thing that I did notice is the strike zone. You know how we've always, when I was growing up, it was from your chest, from the letters on your chest down to your knees, right? Where now it's kind of just above your belly button or right there at your belt to your knees. And they have, there's actually a formula. John Boy was talking about it. There's actually a formula for how they're going to, he was showing the difference in Jose Altuve's strike zone on how it's going to be, and Aaron Judge's strike zone, which, they're big.
Big size difference there.
There's a foot difference in between the guys, but the strike zone really doesn't change all that much. So it's actually a pretty small strike zone, which I'm not a big fan of because it makes it easier for the hitter, and I feel like it's already very advantageous for the hitter.
I don't think it's very advantageous for the hitter right now, man. I mean, you're seeing pitching nowadays that we've not seen the likes of in quite some time.
Pitching is better.
Batting average is down across the league over the last 10 years. You get into the postseason and what wins?
Pitching.
Pitching wins, right? So anything you can do, I think, to drive, because and the thing is new fans and even seasoned fans like ourselves, I don't want to sit there and go and watch a 1-0 game if it's not my team that's involved, right? I want to see offense. I want to see guys rounding the bases, touching home plate. I want to see exciting plays. So, but no, there has to be some form of it. Big Fred's in the show. We appreciate you, Big Fred, as always. He says the review like they have in the minors has to happen, and it's kind of what I'm talking about.
Someone just texted in. It's actually Tyler Bishop. He said someone texted him and said that we were talking about a new bakery in St. Andrews. Obviously talking about Bite Me, but that's not a physical location. You have a food truck, right?
We do have a food truck, but she makes everything in-house. And when I say in-house, it's in the house.
Yeah.
So it's Bite Me Custom Cookies and Treats. Check her out on Facebook, Instagram. She has a website as well that's up, and you can go check all that good stuff out. Best way to get a hold of us is to either shoot a message on Facebook Messenger or 850-319-6857.
Or hey, comment in the Facebook chat right now.
Yeah.
She's watching.
Mhm. Yeah, she's
she could
watching.
answer your question for you. She's watching.
There you go. Carla does a wonderful job.
And we
there.
deliver. We'll deliver within about a 30-minute range. 30, like she went to Callaway today to take a cake. So.
Yeah, you could pretty much get everywhere around this area within 30 minutes, or it depends on traffic, though, right? It depends on the time of the year. You know very well, working deeper on this side of the Hathaway Bridge. Let's see, James, what about for you? Pitch clock, bigger bases, the robotic umps, which rule change do you secretly love? Before you answer that, one thing I would also say with the advantage being batter or pitcher is the pitcher's not being able to use anything to texture the ball outside of rosin, right? And then you've got the hitters talking, Strom for the Phillies was talking about this. I forget what podcast he was on, but he was saying how you've got a lot of these guys using spray pine tar now, and they're spraying up a little higher on that barrel than it's not like the umpires come up and have to feel the batter's bat before he gets up there, and then but after every other inning the pitchers are getting their hands checked.
But that's the thing with baseball, right? It's the old adage of if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, I'm right.
I mean, baseball is I'm going to try to find the best way to get an advantage, and that's what led to trash can gate and steroid era and all that other
bats
stuff.
And
right.
Hey, George Brett started it all, right? All right. James, you can answer this one. Pitch clock, bigger bases. What is it for you?
I like bigger bases. It's a safety factor, so that's a good thing.
I'll get
Doesn't
that.
bother me any. The amount of steals going up slightly, that's fine. I think that adds excitement to baseball. The thing I still hate, and the thing I will still rail on until it goes away, is eliminating the shift.
Oh, yeah.
Give the dudes
hate that.
Learn how to hit it where they aim. It's not hard. Why can't we do that? Because Mr. Manfred only wants to see the long ball. He doesn't care about batting average. If Mr. Manfred cared about batting average, he would let the shift stay around. He only cares about seeing the long ball.
See, I'm a big anti-shift guy.
Really?
Like I don't.
You don't like the fact
I don't
that-
like the shift. I like the fact that they can't shift.
I think
I don't
your
want my
purist
third
tag is
baseman
getting pulled.
I don't want my third baseman playing in short right field. That's not baseball to me.
But
You know what?
If
I really like the shift, actually. I'm with James on this. I really like the shift. I'm a huge fan of the shift.
Yeah.
Just because I like to see these guys kind of come out of that usual spot on the field. And I like to see them move around. And I like to see, how do you react when you're playing short right field and you have to come up that far for something that's coming that's going to take a hop maybe. And actually I saw a really crazy play over the weekend where someone was positioned just perfectly to take a hop. They were just off of first base, kind of hanging back near the near where the turf starts, and they were hanging back just a little bit, and they caught the hop perfectly. Had they been any closer, they probably would have taken that one to the jaw. So I mean, I'm a big fan of them playing just off position just a little bit, just to see the skill factor. And I mean, a little bit of safety, but I'm more in it for the skill.
Well, they're allowed to shift, right? So the shortstop can't go past second. The second baseman can't go past second on either side, respectively. But so they do still shift to a certain degree.
Right.
And there's always different, defensive positioning that happens. But like I said, I don't want, if I'm a Padres fan, and here I am, I've got Manny Machado, who is arguably one of the best defensive third basemen in the game, that maybe one that we've seen ever, right? Arguably.
Okay.
And here I am paying him millions and millions of dollars, and I've got him playing in right field. I don't want to watch that.
He should be trained well enough to play that deep. He should be trained so well to play that deep. That sounds like a management problem to me.
Do they still shift in college baseball?
Yes, we do. I have seen some talk of people saying like that they also want to ban the shift in college baseball, but I've seen the shift so much this season alone. I am such a big fan for it, especially watching us play. You see people shifting against A&M.
Yeah.
You see A&M shifting against people. I see Caden Kent out there in short center all the time. And I'm like, okay, be there. Sometimes, it is disadvantageous to us, but I also would like to see how they react, like I said. So I'm kind of all in for it. By the way, Rick just commented in, he said, exciting whites.
Exciting whites, yeah. I was going to talk about your shirt when we started the next segment, but that's a phenomenal shirt if I've ever seen one. Maybe the best shirt that's ever been worn here in the in the CBC Construction Studios. Which team needs to hit the most in the NFL draft, and what happens if that team does miss again? But what team would you say needs this draft to go their way the most?
Based on the money that was spent last year, I'm going to go with your Titans. They went out and spent a buku of money on trying to get some talent to, get Will Levis some weapons, and making some moves on the defensive side, and you're drafting number 1 overall. With that comes pressure, right? You have to make the right pick. So if they keep it and they take Cam Ward, it's got to go well, right? Yeah. Because you got rid of your lifelong coach in Vrabel. You bring in the young up-and-coming guy that came from the Bengals and Callahan to be your guy. You fire your GM and get a new one.
And they just got rid of John Robinson.
Right, so now you have all of these moving pieces. You need a stabilizing factor in that franchise.
Yeah.
And all points seem to be that Cam Ward is going to be the guy, and I think there's a lot on that young man's shoulders to be that stabilizing factor for that franchise.
We'll see, man. And Brian Callahan's going to get at least one more shot here maybe it buys him another year. I'll definitely be rooting for Cam Ward. I'm sick of seeing us draft these quarterbacks and not being able to do anything with them. I think Cam Ward's more talented than what Will Levis is, but we'll just have to see how it all plays out.
I have one for this one.
Yeah.
The Panthers, for sure. I think the Panthers need a little bit of help somewhere. They need to definitely hit something good. And I'm biased, but Cowboys always. Always. They're not even worth mentioning, but Panthers for sure.
Caveman says the Giants, the Jags, and the Colts. I think the Giants are a really good answer right
Fred
there.
said the Giants. He's a Giants fan, too.
I think that's wild, Caveman Rick being an Eagles guy, but the Giants are a team with all of the troubles that they've had. It really, even before getting rid of Saquon, but you've got Saquon Barkley going to Philly. You've got Joe Shane's son telling him to draft Jaden Daniels, and he doesn't do that.
One of the best videos to watch, though. One of the best videos to go back and look and be like, this kid knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, and not many of us, a lot of people were, Caleb Williams number 1 overall, but I don't think people really expected Jaden Daniels to have the surge that he had in year 1, which was absolutely impressive. It was a lot of fun. You got another answer over there? You're smiling.
No, but Big Fred said, it's because Caveman Rick is my spirit animal.
850-215-6290 on the Jed Lawyer phone line. We've got more people chiming in with their drafts. With the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Bobby Boucher at South Central Louisiana State University. And I think that's our last one right there. But you can continue to text in with that. We're going to take a quick... You got anyone that is there another one of these 4 that you really want to answer?
No, I think I'm okay for today.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll get to Mo, and I'll save some of these for next week. When we get back, we're going to be taking a ride with Morgan Hilliard, and she's going to give us her notes from college baseball, the Burniverse, and all of that good stuff. If you have any questions for her, text in at 850-215-6290. More from the Dogs coming up next.
The new app from ESPN Northwest Florida has up-to-the-minute sports news, interaction with local hosts in real time, easy download and no credit check, live streaming, real-time traffic and programming schedules.
Here's how to order.
Download our free app from the Apple Store and Google Play. Then lock it in and rip the knob off. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. Tonight there will be a calm wind, mostly clear skies and 66. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 78. In the afternoon and evening, a mixture of light sprinkles and sunshine and a gentle breeze right around 10 miles per hour with a high of 80. The same at 80 Friday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Everyone in the area knows that when it comes to portable buildings, Best Way Portable Buildings is the best in portable, period. And now they offer screen enclosures too to help keep those vicious yellow flies, mosquitoes, and no-see-ums away. Need a pole barn? Best Way can do the job. See Best Way Portable Buildings just north of the old mall on Highway 231. Online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Best Way Portable Buildings, the best in portable, period. And a golden age business.
Dreaming of your perfect Florida home? Whether you're buying or selling, I'm here to make it easy. I'm Terry Callahan with Anchor Realty Florida, and I've helped many folks from first-time home buyers to retirees find success in the Bay County real estate market. I'd love to find just the right home and neighborhood to match your family's needs. Let's make your dream home on the Florida Panhandle a reality. Call or text me, Terry Callahan, at 850-919-5025.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. Don't call it a podcast.
Frequency modulation is a big step forward in radio.
Broadcasting live from the world's most beautiful beaches. The Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're in the Doghouse riding with the Afternoon Underdogs live and local from the CBC Construction Studios. You can go to cbcconstruction.com and apply for a job over there. Fill out an application, put in your resume, or give them a call at 850-747-3815 if you need any construction done. Still taking some of your calls and text for the call-in question of the day. If your team had to draft a fictional character, who's your first round pick? 850-215-6290 on the Jed Lawyers phone line. Morgan Hilliard in the building with us, along with James Fife, Adam Goff, and I'm David Hayes. And Morgan, that is an exciting shirt that you're wearing. It's not very white on the outside, or like the where the logo is not. It's pink, so she's still staying true to form. But all of the fellas on there happen to be
actually,
of the.
It's all Cooper
a certain
DeJean.
persuasion.
It's certain.
Oh.
It's a Caucasian persuasion.
It's
only
Blankenship and
yes. It's Cooper and Reed Blankenship. You know, they actually had a shirt made of this that they wore as they were arriving. And I was like, yeah, that's a sick shirt. I gotta have that. I actually have a framed photo of Cooper DeJean in my house.
Okay.
I love him.
I'm trying to see, like, what's his mustache looking like?
He doesn't have one.
Oh, so he passed.
He needs to get on the train here.
Yeah.
I've got like a double fold photo frame, and it's got a photo of Cooper DeJean outrunning Patrick Mahomes into the end zone in the Super Bowl, and then the other Ryan Prager.
Okay, there you go. So you got Pookies. Multiple
Both my
of them.
loves.
Colby has a question for us.
All right.
Real quick on YouTube. He says, who do you think the Jags' first pick is going to be?
I mean, signs are pointing towards Ashton Genty. I don't know if that's necessarily the right move. They got a little love out of Tank, or a little pop out of Tank Bigsby last year. Could that continue? I don't know. I just don't know if I'd be taking. If I'm going to take Ashton Genty right there at 5, I almost would try to trade down and hope that he would stick around.
Right, but I think the Raiders are there,
right,
6 or 7?
Yeah, the Raiders are right there behind them, and they want him too. So there is that factor. And I think the Raiders could be you talk about Pete Carroll being, and the I'm blanking on who the OC is over there now, but we were just talking about this yesterday, bringing in Geno Smith. They've got something over there that could be special. The problem is they're in a special division, or at least a division with great coaching and the Kansas City Chiefs. So who do you think the Jags take there at 5?
If I'm them, I'd take a defensive lineman to get some help there. I don't know, who that number one would be based on. Number one pick for them would be based on who's drafting, ahead of them.
Right.
Because if Abdul Carter falls to 5, I think you have to take
him right
Abdul
there.
Carter. But I don't know that Abdul Carter does fall to 5. But you got Liam Cohen there, new coach. He's wanting a splash, right? Ashton Genty is certainly a splash.
Shamar Stewart is right there if you can hear me, Jags.
I mean,
He's right
Shamar
there.
Stewart, I'm a huge proponent, as I said, of Jahad Campbell. So, I mean, maybe 5's a little early for him. Or you can go...
Jason Tatum out for tonight, game 2.
Oh, and that's breaking news with the wrist. And that was the one where Missoula was over there saying, get up, get up. He wouldn't even let the trainer go over there and get him. Morgan Hilliard in the building with us, though. And this is Mo's Notes. I don't know if we're talking college baseball burniverse, but Mo, what are we talking about this afternoon?
Let's go ahead and get the easiest out of the way first. A&M, I've really been impressed by the Aggies. They're on a hot streak. They've won 9 out of their last 10 games, which is very impressive considering how we started our season. Always happy to see it. We walked into Tennessee, we walked into Rocky Top, and we dethroned Rocky Top, and then we went to Fayetteville, and we dethroned them as number 2 as well as an unranked team. So you know what? We're going to keep going. Just keep us unranked. Don't put us anywhere.
Yeah.
Just let these boys do their thing. Caden Sorrell, absolute monster. I mean, we really were missing him from our lineup. The dude just hates baseballs. I mean, he just crushes everyone he sees.
So what you're saying is Texas A&M is starting to get hot at the right time.
They're starting to get hot exactly at the right time. If they were going to have a slump, having it in the beginning was definitely ideally, and if you're going to have a slump, have it in the beginning. Go ahead and get that out of the way. That way you can get hot, stay hot. And I need them to stay so very hot because we're going to go to Austin this weekend and we're going to take on our arch rival. I mean, not our biggest rival. That would be South Carolina, obviously. But we are definitely going to go in there and hopefully upset some people. And hopefully, I'll come back to this in just a second. But anyways, Blake Binderup also on a hot streak right now. Love to see everything we're doing. And also, like you're saying, the get up. There was a play from last night, I think, where Jay slid into third. They had the trainer go out and look at him, and he hadn't got up yet from the slide. And Andrew Monaco, the voice of A&M, was like, get up right now, Jace. Like, just get up. And he finally got up. I think it was like a little like arm jam, how he slid into third. But I was like, I was actually on the stair stepper thinking the same thing. Get up, please, God.
Quit being a crybaby. This is not basketball.
Not even that. I was like, God, no more injuries. I can't handle any more of this. Please make it stop. I don't want to know any more pain. I just want to know happiness. Anyways.
Jamie says A&M versus LSU next week.
Yeah, I know. I can't.
Is that this coming week or?
That's next week.
Okay, so
this
you
week
gotta
is
focus.
Austin.
Okay.
This week is Austin. Next week is LSU at LSU. No, we'll be at home for this series. We'll be at home for LSU. So, I mean, some magic, Jimmy. Get ready to learn it.
I'm smelling a hat bet, maybe, or maybe a T-shirt bet.
Ooh.
Oh, between Jimmy
and Mo?
I like it, yeah, because Parker Seago had said, he said, great shirt, wonder where it's from. So, yeah, maybe they put a shirt bet on
Maybe
it.
there's a T-shirt bet with Jimmy and Mo.
Jimmy, you know how to find me. So, we
go.
could try it. So let's get into our picks for the weekend.
Okay.
Dave obviously took last week. He's 1-0 in picks right now. If we're going to go like the entire, who's winning out of our picks.
I like doing it like that.
Yeah. He took last week for most of the picks, so he's going to hold our cap, and I guess we'll let him pick first. I do have some picks for this weekend, a little bit of repeats, a little bit of new. Starting this weekend at 5 p.m. Friday, you've got FSU versus AG's Cardinals.
Oh, tough. And we had, Louisville and Clemson last week,
yes.
right? And Clemson got the better of Louisville out of 3 games.
2 out of 3, yeah.
Let me stick with the Seminoles here. I hate to go. You just gave me a sweet Louisville jersey today.
Baseball
jersey, yeah. And so maybe that's my prize for winning from last week. But I'm going to go with Florida State. One of my favorite things about Florida State, obviously, the fact that they've never won a title, and I really would like to see them get that done. But they've got Gary Sheffield's son on their team, and I think
same betting stance too.
I
The
love
waggle,
it, bro.
love it.
I love it. So give me the Knowles.
AG,
go Cards.
Go Cards. All right. Also at 5 p.m. on.
You're
Price.
taking Louisville as well.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Louisville.
Y'all hear that, Florida State fans? Call in on the Jed Lawyers phone line 850-205-6290.
The next one at 5. Starting Friday is going to be number 14, Oklahoma versus number 10, Georgia. And this is a really good one to watch, by the way. Oklahoma's 29-11 and Georgia is 33-10 right now. So it's pretty close. It's pretty close in win-to-loss ratio, and anything can happen in baseball, as we know. So, who are you taking?
Who is it again?
Oklahoma
and Georgia.
Oklahoma's been streaking a little bit lately, right? And Georgia kind of fell off last week. They had a tough sweep to Vanderbilt.
A tough one.
Give me Georgia to bounce back this weekend.
All right, David.
Georgia keeps reeling. Give me Boomer Sooner.
I am also going to take OU in this one. And yeah, I tuned in. I think it was Saturday I think it was Friday because last week was Thursday through Saturday games. I tuned in Friday to their game just to check on them because we went into a weather delay and they were getting the crap beat out of them. So I'm going to go Oklahoma. 6:30, you've got number 6 Tennessee taking on number 7 LSU. And this one will be up there as well because Tennessee is streaking 34-7 and LSU is 34-8.
And LSU had a series win against Bama last week.
Yep.
And Tennessee, I can't remember what they did, but they've been kind of...
They've dropped a little bit. They've been playing well, but not to their full potential.
Yeah, exactly. Give me... Jimmy, I'm sorry to do this, brother. I'm going to take the Vols here. I mean, that orange just... but go Tennessee.
They actually have the best orange, I think. If
you like looking at vomit,
if I'm taking any orange, I'm taking Tennessee orange, just on a color scheme.
Yeah, because you hate Texas.
I'm not wearing any other orange, period. Yeah. But if I'm wearing orange, I'm wearing Tennessee orange.
LSU Jeff would beg to differ. You need to wear some orange.
AG?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. I am going to take LSU as well because I want them to win this weekend. So they're coming in a little too confident, and then get swept by us.
I like
hopefully,
that. We'll make the shirt bet or whatever if y'all do it off air, but we'll still kind of bring it to light on air next.
Little
Wednesday.
bit of mind game, and then my favorite series of the weekend. Like I said, we were going to come back to this at 7:00. You've got Aggies versus number 1 Texas in Austin.
Ooh. And Texas A&M's been playing great. Go ahead.
Keep everything you know in mind. Poaching our head coach, poaching our pitching coach, trying to poach our current head coach now. Keep everything you know in mind. Who are you taking?
Oh, man. With this one, I'm just going to have to... I really want to go with your Aggies. And I think that... it's so tough. But because it's in Austin, right? You said it's in Austin.
It's in Austin.
Because of that, I think Texas gets a 2-1. It's not going to be a sweep. 2-1. Very close games. One of them's going to be a blowout in Texas A&M's favor, though. That's it.
Horns down.
Oh, my God. Culture! Okay, so I'm also going to go the culture route, and I would just love to see this blow up in everyone's face. Things that concern me, though, is they have a really good pitcher. How do you even say his last name? I don't know, and I don't even want to attempt it because some people might get mad. They've got a Ruger.
Texas pitcher.
Ruger Riojas. I don't know how to say that. Don't quote me on that. But
Riojas sounds good.
Yeah.
I go Rio Jazz.
I hope, though, that they play Jalen Flores because he's what cost them their regional last year. So, keep him at short. I love that.
Jimmy said Longhorns,
I hate Texas.
Who?
Jimmy said Longhorns, by the way.
There we go. Getting his get back right there.
He's starting the bet early.
I hate Texas, too. I hate Texas much more than I dislike. I don't even really have any dislike for Texas A&M, but I hate them. Parker says those artificial turf merchants don't deserve success.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to stand watching a full 3-game series at the Dish because God, they have the worst field. I know I've talked about this before, but I hate the way their field looks like just a little circle of dirt. Blech, gross. Goodbye.
And it's Riojas.
Thank you. Yeah. I couldn't figure out how to say that, and I wasn't going to look it up.
Parker gave it to me, so it's not like I did it.
Oh, I know how it's... I literally know how it's spelled.
No,
I just
he said... Yeah, but, he gave me kind of like the phonetics.
Oh, I see it right there. I see it right there. All right. That's what I have for the weekend. Let's dive in. So, UNC took on Virginia Tech this weekend.
Yeah.
And all 3 games were an absolute jabberfest. They were not having it. I know...
What's a jabberfest?
Just going at it.
Okay.
It was coming
so they were almost kissing, but not quite kissing.
But okay, so the third game, the final game, they're letting it have it. This Virginia Tech batter gets struck out. He's coming off he's coming out of the batter's box, and I don't know what he said. Obviously, we won't know, but he looks right at the catcher and just chirps him, and like this, like ignites both the dugouts. I mean, they've been chirping up until this point the entire series, and then finally they came out of the dugouts and they were so close. I really thought they were going to kiss. They could have just leaned forward and kissed. That's how close they were.
Literally kissing.
That's how close they were to each other. So you've got like both teams out of the dugouts just letting each other have it, and it leads up to both head coaches getting ejected. Ooh. And so I mean, this was so like fiery, I guess. It was very heated on this field. They were really, really talking the talk, though. I would have loved to see somebody actually walk it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. The only thing that I can, I'm on Twitter now, but I was looking up just on Google, and it was like a 14-minute review.
Yes,
video I had to watch.
Yes, I found one that was like condensed into 4 minutes and 52 seconds, and even the broadcasters are like, "Man, we wish we had microphones down there so we knew what they were saying." But like, because I mean, he looks at him, and you can even tell like through the catcher's mask that he chirps back at him, and it just leads to this like almost brawl. And I would have loved to see what could have been. But
you don't typically see that happen in college baseball too often, where there's the fights and things like that.
No, you really don't see them actually throw hands. They're not like these NFL thugs.
I'm watching it. I'm watching the one that you were just talking about. So he hit that home run in the bottom of the first inning. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, and he does chirp him, and then and so they lost their coaches in the first inning of that game. That's a long way to go without your head ball coach there. Well, what's next on the agenda? That's man. I love when stuff gets heated the same way as Morgan does. I don't know if anyone loves it as much as Morgan does, though. Like
no one likes seeing
the most
fights
heated
more than me.
I've ever seen was I was at a Cincinnati Reds game. They were playing the Cardinals. The Reds had just taken, I think, 3 or 4 in St. Louis, like the week prior. And Brandon Phillips, our second baseman at the time, was chirping, to use your vernacular there, at the Cardinals, and he called them female dogs. And, of course, he leads off for the Cincinnati Reds in the bottom of the first inning. And he reaches down his bat like he always does and goes to tap the catcher's shin guards.
Yeah. That was Yachty, right?
It was Yachty Molina. And then
you were at that game, right?
As soon as my butt hit the seats, that's when all hell broke loose. And so then that's when the big brawl happened in there. And so that was pretty exciting. So, again, I don't know that we've seen that very much in college. To my recollection, I can't think of an instance watching a college baseball game or seeing a college baseball game that, elevated to that kind of, vitriol. But
I don't really think that, like, even if it did escalate that far, the NCAA wouldn't have any mercy towards it,
Oh, I'm sure.
Because, I mean, football a little bit different. The tension's very high. Like, not that it's not high on a field as well.
It's a more physical
But
game.
it's more physical. You're more in front of each other. There's a lot more contact happening. You're not just trying to make contact with a ball. There's a lot going on there. And I feel like if that actually escalated, the NCAA wouldn't hold back anything into punishing something like that, which is probably why they don't let it go that far.
So there was a incident on April 11th of this year between Spring Hill and University of Mobile, so probably not as talked about, but both benches cleared for a wild brawl in the 11th inning. So I'll have to watch.
Oh my God, you're going to have to send me this video because you know how I feel about the kissing. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Just explain one more time. There might be people who are listening right now who have never heard a Morgan Hilliard segment. She's like, why? They're like, why does she want to see these guys kiss? Like, that's a little weird. There's other websites you can go to for things like that. Tell the people what kissing means, Morgan.
So, kissing is a term that I came up with, and just because, obviously there's a lot of people who feel a certain type of way about the gays, essentially, and whatnot. Kissing is my definition for fighting. Like, fighting is the definition of the word that I'm using. I don't want to see and touch lips. I want to see contact be made from a fist to a face. That's what I want to see. I want to see it get so out of hand that there's like actual connection between faces and fists.
Like,
that's what I want to see.
Who was it? Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson. That was basically the downfall of Tim Anderson's career. Down goes
He's
Anderson.
actually playing in the Angels right now.
Okay, well, good
starting
for him,
shortstop.
because he was
before Nato came back. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, like Parker says, I support dudes just needing to throw hands. I also support dudes needing to throw hands. I feel like not enough hands are being thrown.
I agree with that to an extent. I don't know if I like. I
don't want it. I don't want it. And
to run rampant,
to go crazy.
Yeah.
But I did. My favorite part of NFL games is like when you see like that tension coming out, and you see those, like you can tell the words are flying, but it's nothing like. It was the Saints earlier this year, and where were they? And they was it the Saints and the Cowboys, and they got into an actual brawl between.
It's probably Saints Bucks because it was probably Lattimore and Evans again.
No, they actually didn't really fight this time. I want to say this was Saints Cowboys. They got into this huge brawl that went so far they knocked over a couple of camera guys on the sidelines, and they kind of just toppled on top of each other.
And college football, the final week of the year was wild with all of the flag planting and all that stuff. The only thing that I would say is I like to see it. I love to see it at the major league level for college. All of this stuff trickles down, though. So when kids are seeing this from Major League Baseball players, they're emulating it, which at the end of the day, you're not a Major League Baseball player, so you need to be listening to your coach. Kind of same feeling for me in college baseball. As much as I do support, handling your business and everything, I think if you start throwing punches, there's still sportsmanship, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really do appreciate good sportsmanship. I would say, go box or something.
Jimmy said all sports need an NHL penalty box so you can throw hands.
All right, see, and I'm fine with that. That's what. See, exactly. Like in hockey, it's expected. In football, you're just keep your helmet on, dummy.
Just get it over with, kind of thing.
NBA, I wish that they were fighting a little bit more there, and I like to see it at the major league level because it just kind of shows your passion, especially if you're doing it for reasons that kind of make sense and not just because, I struck out, so now I'm going to come at you, pitcher.
I will say on the college baseball level, I do like to see the coach come out of the dugout just a little bit when he really doesn't agree with something. I do like to see the coach come out and kind of let them know what's up.
Yeah.
I like to see that, to see the passion. You're standing behind what you believe is right, and you're letting these guys know, I'm still in it. You need to be in it. And regardless of where you are, I'm so locked in. This is the level I want you to rise to. I like that kind of passion coming from head coaches specifically.
Like Parker says, just let them blow off some steam and don't let it get too out of hand. Just one-on-one at a time, right? Not a whole bench, just one-on-one at a time. Meet me at the mound or right behind home plate. Umpires, don't get in the way. We've got 30 seconds to settle our business. Yeah, put the bats down. Put the bats down. No pine tar on your hands either. That could rip some skin pretty easily. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Barbie when we return.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Wednesday's weather. Tonight there will be a calm wind, mostly clear skies and 66. Mostly sunshine tomorrow morning, about the same at 78. In the afternoon and evening, a mixture of light sprinkles and sunshine and a gentle breeze right around 10 miles per hour with a high of 80. The same at 80 Friday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Star stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPNNW.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. You want a big-time sports show? Tune in for the Afternoon Underdogs.
We're live and local here.
Weekdays from 4 till 6.
We need one more SEC team in there to shake things up.
The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. It's our final segment of the afternoon. This is Braves Country. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Braves' next game on ESPN will be Friday. Coverage starting at 7:25 for an 8:40 first pitch. I'm David Hayes along with Adam Goff, Morgan Hilliard, James Fife. We're the Afternoon Underdogs live from the CBCConstruction.com studios. If you have a question for Morgan in our final segment, text or call the Jed Lawyers phone line at 850-215-6290. Morgan, back to you.
Beautiful. No notes. All right. Let's talk about something very exciting. Yeah, I'm pushing narratives over here.
All right, let's
Don't
go.
care.
Get filthy with it.
All right. Have you guys seen the newest information about the Shannon Sharp lawsuit?
I've heard a little video that sounded kind of clipped together.
Right.
Okay, my bad. My real laugh just came out. That was rough. Let's talk about this. So, Shannon Sharp is being sued right now by a lover, I would say.
Former lover. I guess that's a way to put it.
For,
she was one of his OnlyFans.
For,
like $20.5 billion? For sexual assault?
Yes, thank you.
You could say that.
I was just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you've said worse.
Okay, that's true. That's very true. I have said worse. So he is being sued by a former lover / OnlyFans girl, or she is an OnlyFans girl still, for sexual assault. And there have been some really crazy things that have come out about this. I believe it was yesterday.
You lick your lips when you get like topics like this, right? You're just like, oh, I cannot wait to get in the studio
Oh my
and talk
God!
about
Listen,
this.
when Isaiah Bond got arrested, I literally have gone nonstop. I actually looked for it earlier today to see if I could find the original affidavit, the original arrest report, to see what's really in it, because all these news articles keep talking about this affidavit. Give me the affidavit. Stop talking about it and give it to me. Let me read it and let me debrief and break it down, because I need to. Anyway, I need it like I need air to breathe. Okay. Anyways, so he has
detective drama.
Barbie's on the case. I actually have a meme of that. But anyways, so he released a statement from his attorney to his personal, Shannon Sharp, by the way, to his personal Twitter account about how these allegations are false. This was consensual encounters, and what took place between them was fully consensual, even exposing some texts that she had sent to him talking about, she would like this sort of thing. And my
choking, is that what you're
No, she actually goes into talking about I want to do some actual BDSM things and blah blah blah.
Gotcha.
And then my favorite one though is that she would like a big baby, and I was like, that's crazy.
A big baby?
A big baby. From Shannon Sharp.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyways, it's really crazy. And I was just like, wow, this is not stuff that the FBI could beat out of me. You couldn't even waterboard me to get this information. I swear to you, that's nuts. So
like from Shannon Sharp or from her?
Both sides.
Okay.
Literally the things that have been.
But once the FBI enters in, at that point, you pretty much have to cooperate,
you know what? You could
right?
just go ahead and execute me by public guillotine. I'm out. I'm out on this.
We'll bring it back just for Morgan.
Anyways, go ahead. Just go ahead and do that. But anyway, so some of the things that have been released are absolutely insanity, and I can't believe that he shared this himself. He just put it all out there for the whole world to see, which is crazy.
I don't think that's crazy though. I think if you're being accused of something, the best way, because you're guilty in the eye of public opinion, right? until you prove your innocence, right? Which you don't have to do, but still, you're going to be talking. If you go to trial, there's going to be a jury of your peers right there, and those people are supposed to be non-biased. But for me, I guess it's one of those things. If it's going to be talked about anyways, let me give you
Fantastic
the proof.
point. Let's, as a jury,
Okay.
how are you going to find anyone
I'm
out there
skipping jury duty.
who unless they live under an actual rock like Patrick Starr, who are you going to find that doesn't know something about Shannon Sharp? And we know he's a weird guy. We know that he's into some really weird things. Like, mind you, don't forget, maybe just a year ago when he accidentally went live on IG.
Was that who he was streaming with that day?
No one knows. I don't think that was her. But, I mean, we know what kind of craziness he's into.
His activities.
Yeah, his extracurriculars. Why
But
is
that's-
anyone
it's
surprised?
his extracurriculars, though, and as long as she's of age and not...
Well, the thing is the only thing that I think that he has going in his favor right now is him actually being as open as he's being, right? Because if you're hiding anything,
it's going to come out.
No matter how big it is, it's going to look at you as like, yeah, you're guilty, right? And then the other thing is the whole Trevor Bauer situation, right? Trevor Bauer is still out of baseball, I think, for more than just the occurrences with the young lady a couple years ago. But it's still a huge part of it. And, since then we've seen that, Trevor Bauer was the one that was being taken advantage of. Now, do I agree with everything that happened in their relationship? No, absolutely not. But to each their own, right? I don't think he did anything illegal. So I think you have a little bit of this, there's a leg for, Shannon Sharp to stand on here and say that, this has happened once before. And maybe this young lady's playing the same card from the same deck that
thing is,
Trevor Bauer's accuser did.
My biggest thing is if it's and I think that you would be the
Fred,
I
really.
want to say the perfect person to give me the pass to say this or whatever. What I'm trying to get at is if someone is going after money rather than if you have actually been sexually assaulted, what you want criminal charges put on someone 100%. Who did you wrong. And if you're going after money right there, that just shows me the gig is up, and I might be wrong for being a male saying that.
No, I'm actually so excited that you're taking the standpoint that you're taking, because looking between the text messages, the information that has been released, the somewhat discovery that they are making public for people to actually see so they can see both sides of the story. This was, Shannon Sharp, my guy. You walked right into this.
Yeah.
They opened the cage door and said, go play with the Lions, and you just strolled in there ready to do tricks.
Yeah.
Like, you literally...
Wow.
You just walked right up in there. Like, she literally said all of this hoopla, all of this hoopla, and you said... Let me show you what I got. Like, you fell right into the trap being set for you, my guy. If it was a snake, it would have bit you. And guess what? You are facing the poison right now.
So do you think she'll win the case?
I don't think she wins.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's something like totally just...
damning?
Yes.
Well, the real issue is there's no winning for him. Even if something does come out that says that, she's completely lying, she's full of what, he's still in the public eye going to be looked at as, he was accused of this.
Yeah.
Right? So if he settles, even if he settles out of court because he doesn't want any more secrets being, then it's still, there's still going to be some form of guilt that's associated with him. So
But think about all the other stuff that's happening, like with Joy Taylor and, that entire...
But that got swept all the way up underneath the rug.
Yes, that entire lawsuit. They're still doing their show like nothing happened. They're still performing as talent with no questions being asked now, and no one's talking about it anymore.
Right.
Me, personally, I'm looking every day to see what they put out there. You can't hide from me. Don't run, because I'm right here in the shadows.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Don't run. No one is safe.
We got someone doing some real life shadow work these days.
It's your girl. If you thought you saw the Hat Man at 3 a.m., it was actually me. But
He got
anyway,
a trench coat and everything, but
literally,
it's bright pink.
I'd be looking. Barbie is on the case. But It might be a reputation thing, and there may be some people who are calling, for him to be executed by guillotine. But I will say he isn't no Diddy. He is no Diddy, at all. I mean, the things that are coming out there's more stuff being released about Diddy almost every single week. I mean,
I haven't been hearing much about that either.
I've obviously been keeping up with it. There's a lot going on over there, but that's not the point. The point is it's probably going to get swept under the rug, just like that other lawsuit that we talked about before. And
wait, the Diddy stuff or the Shannon Sharp stuff?
The Joy Taylor situation from before,
but
the Sharp stuff will get swept as well.
But there's no way the Diddy stuff is going.
Absolutely not. No,
that's going to be going to.
He literally needs execution by firing squad. I mean, what is wrong?
I love all of your execution mentions today. You've been watching some execution style videos.
For Diddy, I would say bring back the Attila the Hun style, where they they put you on a star and then they rip all your body parts off. That's the only thing acceptable for him.
Let's go quartering.
Yes, thank you.
Like Braveheart.
Yeah,
freedom.
Literally, that's what needs to happen to him.
Guillotine reminds me of a movie that my dad and we used to watch as a family all the time, The Scarlet Pimpernel.
That's actually not how he died. By the way, William Wallace actually died. Because first, they beat him. They broke every bone in his body. Mm-hmm. Then he still wasn't dead yet. So they poured water, wax, just to intensify those wounds. They rubbed salt into his wounds as well after the water to intensify those wounds. And then he still wasn't dead. So they skinned him alive. He still hadn't died. They put more salt on him. And then they finally had to actually behead him to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Talk about adding salt to the wounds.
Yeah, literally. But, that isn't actually how he died. Just in case anyone was curious, I keep up with a lot of weird stuff.
No, I like to save my quartering for chickens. That's normally nice little leg and a
white
thigh.
meat or dark meat?
Dark meat, actually.
Really? I'm a white meat guy.
Yeah. I like it, the moistness that comes with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more of a flats person myself.
Oh, okay. All right.
More of a flats person.
All right.
She just went with the wing.
Yeah,
I just want the wing. I don't care.
No. What about for you, James?
Give me the white meat. Give me the wings.
All right.
All right, fair.
Yeah, flats, drums don't matter. Put them all together when it comes to wings, though. Just make sure that the sauce is good. Well, Morgan, as always, thanks for stopping by. We'll have you back with us next Wednesday. James will be back tomorrow. Adam next Wednesday. Also, if you want to hang out with us at a draft party tomorrow night, just find me on Facebook, David Hayes. Jesus loves you. So do I. Y'all have a great evening.
ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge.
Hi, this is Dave Neat from Panama City Beach, and I just won $250